Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at thedove.us. Okay, we're back, and delighted to have in the studio, and love what this lady represents and love her. Treva Kuyper's with us. She's one of the co-founders of the Loft Ministries, ministers to girls from 8th grade through 12th grade. And you're kind of like a third of the way through?
We're about half right now. We go through till June.
And it's a program you can pick up anywhere along the line, but it's designed to help girls from 8th grade through 12th grade to navigate through all of the stuff of life,
yes,
right?
Yes, all of the stuff. Yeah, the teenage years are hard for boys and girls.
Yeah, it's tough out there.
It is tough.
What did you do last week?
We did family dynamics in December. And that was really great to just kind of share with the girls all the different kinds of family relationships, how to navigate through conflict, how to navigate through blended families, and family in general. It was a really great topic.
All right, this is a big one for girls, body image and self-worth. I can't think of anything for young girls that's probably more paramount in their thinking than that right now.
Oh, it affects every single one of them, and women too. But yeah, our girls really struggle with body image and self-worth, and if we can't help them get a handle on it, it can turn into destructive behaviors. It can turn into eating disorders and self-harm and self-loathing, self-hate. And so we're trying to bring light to who they are and the truth of who they are, who Christ says they are, and how God created them to be, and just pour encouragement and truth into them.
Why, Treva, is body image so much on the mind of a young girl, all women, but for young girls? Why is that an issue?
Well, you know, even now, 9-year-olds are on diets. Isn't that crazy? 9 years old, as young as 9 years old, they'll go on a diet. I think that there's several things. One is we're just insecure anyways in our sinful nature. We focus so much on ourselves and where we're lacking, and you know, there's all these insecurities, and especially for teenagers that are growing, their bodies are constantly changing. They're trying to figure out who they are. Are they worth anything? They're hearing so many different voices, and it's hard for them to navigate through that and figure out which voice to believe.
Wow.
And then our culture. Our culture wants to be the loudest voice.
Yeah, right.
And so it's quite a battle to come alongside our teens and be louder than the world's voice.
So where do you start this conversation with them?
Well, I love to be a broken record. I love to tell the girls over and over again how much the Lord loves them, that they're created in His image, that He created them with a purpose. And a lot of times I'll show them or tell them the lies that the culture is telling them. For instance, you know, being skinny is the beautiful way to go. Well, whoever decided that, you know? And so just different things, kind of unpacking what the culture tells them, and then asking them, how's that working for you? Believing those things, how's that doing for you? Because God has us in mind, and the love that He has for us is what He wants us to focus on, and not the lies of the enemy.
So what's the image that the culture is trying to put on these girls? What are they, I mean, other than being sex objects, what else?
Oh my word. Well, last year when we did this topic, we talked a lot about Barbie. And just even...
She's still out there, huh?
She is still out there, and I guess now they're trying to create a Barbie that's realistic. I don't know if you've seen that, but they've had Barbie around for years and years and years, and completely unrealistic. And in fact, Barbie, if she was a real person, she couldn't even walk because the proportions are so off. And now Mattel is realizing, oh, maybe we should create a realistic doll. But I think that our culture, from when our girls are little and they're playing with toys, it's a way that they get in there to say, you know, skinny is beautiful. If you don't like the way you are, you can have plastic surgery. You can fix anything about you. You can go on a diet. You can do this. But really, you know, it's a money-making industry. And so as parents, we need to, and moms, we need to be pouring truth into them rather than that.
Do you think the average parent today, I've seen both sides of the coin, do you think the average parent today understands the pressure that young girls have going into the schools and the culture to be something other than they're not? That's number one. And then the other one is a parent who is getting through their child to kind of stay dressed and act their age. would be a standout to those who are being forced to grow up faster.
Yes. I think that the majority of parents want their kids to act their age, but don't necessarily know how to go about doing that. And I'm a parent of an almost 16-year-old girl.
Really?
And yes, and when she was 11, she wanted to be 13. And when she was 13, she wanted to be 17. And, you know, she's always looked at people older than her and wanted to be that. And I would say to her, let's celebrate being 11. Everything that has to do with being 11, let's celebrate that. And then when we're 13, we're going to celebrate everything that has to do with being 13. And we've worked really hard to try to teach her how to enjoy the age that she is. And I think that our culture has lost that. I don't actually think our culture knows what a 15-year-old girl should be like. And so we have to go back to scripture, and they do sexualize the girls from a way, way young age. And I think as parents, we need to be the example. How do I, as a mom, talk about myself? How do I talk about my body image and my worth? What am I saying to my daughter when I want to lose weight after Christmas? How am I handling that? You know, and one of the things that I try to do is have a conversation with my daughter that it's not just about me losing weight after Christmas. It's I was a glutton and I need to start being healthy. And I think the way that we use our words with our teen girls, they listen. They might not seem like they're listening, but they are.
They are listening.
They are listening.
Do the girls get the understanding that it's okay to be who you are because that's the way God created you when the whole world is trying to tell you to change?
It is hard. We have to be a broken record. They need to be hearing that truth from everyone. So when they go to church, they need to hear it in Sunday school. When they're at school even, they need to have some friends that are willing to stand with them on that. I need to be telling them that. The Loft needs to be telling that, because the first few times they hear it, or the first maybe 50 times they hear it, it's not going to sink in. It's just not going to sink in. Their body is changing so much and their hormones are all over the place that they might have a day where they do agree with that and say, I am created in God's image. I am worth something. Christ died for me. And yay, but then the next day they have a bad hair day and the whole world has fallen apart, right? So I think just that constant truth-telling to them, and that they're getting it from all different sides.
Is there a trend back towards modesty?
I like to think so.
I'm just looking at some of the fashion magazines and I go, wow, look at this. This is a nice looking dress. You know what? Am I looking at old ones or what?
I almost think it's either side of the spectrum. I have seen a trend towards modesty in some fashion trends, but then I've also seen shorts getting shorter and skirts getting short. It's almost like there's the shortest of the short and the longest of the long, but there's not really a middle ground. So it's almost like there's either end of the spectrum is what I see. And we try to kind of push them towards the modest end.
Girls that are being forced through the culture or just peer pressure to dress inappropriately, are they comfortable with that? Or are they just trying to be cool?
I think that they are trying to be cool, and I think that the media, the television shows, they're trying to be the celebrities that they see.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're trying to do. Some girls are actually just trying to find their place. So when they go to school and they might feel out of place, they're trying to find a friend group that they fit into or they think they can. And so, you know, in high school, everything is segregated. It just naturally happens that way. You have all the athletes that usually hang out together and the band people hang out together and so on. And so they tend to start dressing like who they hang out with. We become really who we hang out with, even more so.
Yeah, I always say you become a product of your environment.
Absolutely.
Okay, now the self-esteem issue, or self-worth as you're putting it, where is it for an 8th to 12th grader? Where is it?
Well, they are trying so desperately to find their place in the world. And so when I look at a girl and tell her she is beautiful and she is worth something and God created her with a purpose and I can't wait to see what He's going to do in their life, they want desperately to believe me, and they might for 5 minutes. And then when they leave my presence or they leave the Loft, the next day if someone says something negative to them, everything I've said goes out the window. They believe the one negative.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
And bullying is an issue.
Yes. Oh my word. They remember all of that. That becomes, who they are. That becomes their worth because they're taking on what other people are saying. My daughter said to me last night, I was asking her some questions about this, and she said, you know, I feel fine with my body image, with the outside of me. She said, what hurts is the inside. People at school will say something negative to her, and then she holds onto that and chews on that for a while, analyzes that, and then that messes up how she feels about her worth. And I think that that happens for girls across the board, 8th grade through 12th grade, and even in elementary school.
So, again, the broken record, I think this is where the Loft comes in. You have these girls through the school year, and if you can constantly affirm them in Christ, no matter what the issues are, hopefully over that 9-10-month period, they glean from that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I read in an article that a teenager needs to hear the gospel 17 times before they might accept it. 17 times.
Wow.
So I said, well, they're going to hear the gospel 10 times at the Loft each year.
Yeah.
So that's where change happens. That's where transformation happens, is sharing the gospel. When they accept Christ, he changes their heart. He changes their self-worth. He changes their body image. He's the one that can alter that. We can just pour truth into them over and over and over again.
Wow. Well, thank you for what you do. What's coming up next? What are you looking down for? By the way, this will be this coming Sunday.
It's this Sunday at 5:30. We feed them dinner.
Okay.
We have a wonderful speaker. She was first runner-up for Miss Oregon. She's going to come and talk about her relationship with Christ and body image.
Okay.
They do not have to RSVP, and they can bring as many friends as they want.
5:30, and that is the Community Bible Church in Central Point. Just show up. Community Bible Church in Central Point, 5:30 this Sunday. Quickly, your next session will be?
Sex and relationships in February.
Okay, we'll talk to you about that one.
Yes.
But for body image and self-worth, by the way, you can just plug in right now into the program. So moms, dads, friends, ladies, girls, whatever, 8th grade to 12th grade, Community Bible Church this Sunday evening, 5:30. Go there, get dinner, and be encouraged. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're wonderful. All right, we'll see you next time.